Are you able to unmute? Right. But I should be able to hear what you're saying. Okay, I'll call by WhatsApp. We'll do an audio call on WhatsApp. Yeah. Yeah. So what happened? This mic is not working?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how is your preparation going on?
Sir, it's going good.
This syllabus they have completed?
Yeah.
All the 3 subjects?
Yeah.
So what they're doing now?
Solving mock tests and revising
So
difficult chapters.
okay, so now also you have classes regularly?
Yeah, actually they had given a break for preparation of boards.
Okay.
For a few weeks.
Okay.
But now classes are regular.
So today you have class?
Not today.
Okay. So class means how many hours? 3 hours per day?
Yeah, 2.5. Now because syllabus is completed.
Okay, and how many subjects they cover?
3.
All the 3 in 2.5 hours, is it?
No, per day only 1 subject.
Oh, okay, fine. So this mock test you are appearing now. So the mock test. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me. So the mock test is by the coaching institute or? You can hear me?
Coaching institute.
Okay. Then how much are you scoring?
Yes, sir.
No. The mock test is for 300 marks, no?
Hello.
You can hear me or not? You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The mock test is for 3 hours?
Yeah.
And for 300 marks?
Yeah.
And same as the original test?
Yeah.
And how much are you scoring?
Same. 50%.
Okay.
Average.
Right. So what is your strategy now to increase that?
I analyze the test papers after I give it.
Okay.
And so I try to solve the paper in 3 rounds.
Okay.
First I target the easy, then the medium questions, and then the difficult.
So the mock test is online or you have the paper with
online.
you?
No, online, computer based.
So after the test, you don't have the question paper with you?
No, we have it.
Okay.
It's visible in the application.
Okay. So after, can you try the same question paper the second time?
Yeah, we can.
So will the marks increase that time?
Well, our original attempt will be saved, like those marks will be saved.
No.
But we can attempt it. We can attempt it again, and it will show the second attempt marks also.
Okay. So did you try that?
Yeah, it does increase.
How much?
30-40 marks.
Okay, so percentage wise it will go to what?
10%. 10-15%.
Okay, so all your concepts are covered.
Yeah.
So what is the thing that's getting for the application of the concept?
Yeah.
Right. So that means the concept is not okay. You're familiar at the first level, but after that,
yeah.
If it is more clear, means you'll be able to solve the problem. So
yeah.
So see, one strategy is you don't have to look at 100% syllabus. See, to get selected, you don't have to score 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, even if you score 80%, okay, and focus on 80% of the syllabus.
Yeah.
So that you can get that question in the exam. Okay, that will be better. Rather than covering 100% of the concepts and then not able to solve the question, you can focus on 80% of the syllabus and make sure that you will be able to answer those questions. The only problem will come is the 80% you are covering, and in the exam, if it doesn't come 80%,
Yeah.
okay, then will become a problem. But in general, the distribution of the chapters or the concepts, that will be more or less same. So, what do you think is the thing that will improve your score? What's your assessment?
I think like exam temperament is required to increase your score, and focusing on the topics I don't know. But yes,
No, see, are you making silly mistakes
yeah, I do make silly mistakes in the paper.
in
So that's
what
why-
conceptual or calculation?
Like all types of silly mistakes I make, sometimes conceptual, sometimes application, sometimes they want the increasing order, but I take the decreasing order. Sometimes they want the incorrect option, I take the correct option, so that happens.
Okay. What about numerical manipulation?
Yes, not that doesn't happen very often, but it has happened to me a few times.
Okay, so this sort of not reading the question properly, that
Yeah.
thing you can get rid of. You just need to focus.
Yeah,
Okay, concentration has to be there. So you need to sit practice sitting at one place for 3 hours
yeah,
continuously. Okay, that's what you'll be doing the mock test. Even otherwise, the time has come for you to sit and study at one place for 3 hours continuously.
yeah,
Okay, even when you're learning something, the theory part of preparing for the exam, you just even if you're not able to sit, just try to increase it. Even if you're able to sit for 1 hour, make it 1.5 hours, and then make it 2 hours, and then make it 3 hours. You should
yeah.
get in the habit of sitting at one place for 3 hours continuously. Maybe just keep a water bottle on your side. Other than that, you should be able to sit at one place for 3 hours continuously.
Yes,
You have to get into that frame of mind. Once you do that, the mind will be focused. You cannot say before the mock test, I'll sit for 1 hour and then I'll go to do something, and then 5 minutes break, I'll come back, and then 1 hour and then I'll study.
yeah,
If you get into that form of mind, then the concentration becomes problem. So even while studying, even while not giving the mock test, you have to get in the habit of sitting at one place for 3 hours. Okay,
yes, sir.
that way the concentration problem will not happen. Okay, and this online means you cannot mark on the question. So, right, so at least you just have to make some keywords, like if it's ascending means, right, A, short form like A is something like that, and descending means D is something like that, so that you don't make the mistake.
Yes.
You'll be given a sheet of paper, no, for rough
Yeah.
work, even the actual exam. So those sort of habits you have to do.
Yes.
So when was the syllabus completed?
November.
November. And did they cover properly, or they hide up something?
No, I think they covered up properly. Actually, chemistry ended a bit late in November end.
Okay.
Physics and maths ended early.
So which is your more scoring subject?
Chemistry,
How much are you getting?
60, 65.
Okay. What about,
100.
so which is the difficult part in chemistry? Organic or inorganic or physical?
Physical maybe.
Okay.
Physical is the toughest out of the three. Inorganic also, like sometimes you haven't studied it and it comes.
Hmm.
So that's frustrating in inorganic.
Chemistry.
Because it's so vast. We can't study everything in organic.
Okay. Chemistry is basically NCERT, no?
Yeah, but most of the times the questions don't come from NCERT or inorganic.
Okay. Right. What about physics and maths? Which one is easier, physics or maths, scoring wise?
say physics.
Physics, how much are you getting? 50.
50, 55.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maths, what is the problem? Is it time or
Yeah, like maths is time consuming. It takes more, maximum time is gone in maths. And
okay?
there is no guarantee that you'll be able to solve the problem. So you can end up wasting a lot of time.
Okay. So in the mock test, which subject appear first? Which one start attending?
Chemistry,
Chemistry, and then next one.
physics.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's all you have to do. And
Yeah.
so the easy questions, so you're going for the first round, you go for all the 3 subjects, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do it that way. So and you realize that maths will take time, so lengthy calculations will have to avoid. So first easy questions, right? So in the mock test itself, easy questions means how? What percentage of questions are easy?
30%,
Okay,
20-30%.
okay, right. And did you try solving the actual JEE main question paper?
Yeah, I did solve 2019 one. I
Okay,
got 147, 148 in that area.
okay, that is 50%, no?
Yeah,
Okay. So the kind of questions you are not able to answer. So those questions, just by reading the questions, you can figure out, is it? I won't get it. Or you are.
yeah. Most of the times I can, but sometimes I think I can do it, but I'm not able to. So it happens sometimes.
Okay. So while covering the subject itself, so they were given problems, no? Practice problems.
Yeah.
So there you are able to solve it.
Yeah.
So the level of
Yeah,
difficulty
yeah,
of the level of difficulty of the practice problem, this question mock test should be similar, right?
yeah.
So then what is the problem?
I think like the time you can't solve all 75 questions in 3 hours. It's, not all are like this. You can just put the values in the formula and you'll get the answer. In most of the questions, even in the easy ones, there is some thought process that is required. So, 75 questions in 3 hours is quite difficult to do.
See, that is fine. See, so suppose if you take extra time, then you will get more marks.
Yeah.
How much?
Like it depends on how much extra time there is. So then I can, yeah.
No. Suppose I give you 6 hours. Okay. Then what will be your score?
200 plus.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Then just do one thing. You have previous JEE question papers, right? There are lots of them on the web. Okay, even if you can get 2018, 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So take the one which is you have not attempted previously, okay, and solve it for 6 hours. Maybe you take 3 hours and then take a break for 5-10 minutes or something like that, and then continue the test for 6 hours,
Okay.
and then see whether you are scoring high 250 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, then you know speed is a problem.
Yeah.
Speed you can increase, that's not a problem because I don't know. So the speed is a problem, then practice is the one which will bring the speed. So once you're getting the answers correctly, increasing the speed should not be that much difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, so just try this one. You take one actual JEE main paper and then try it for 6 hours. Okay, and then see whether you're scoring high, 250 or something. From that, after the increase in speeds, you just have to. I think you have to. Concentration is important. You have to sit at one place for 3 hours. Even if you don't take mock test, you have to get into that zone.
Yeah.
Okay, so which is the difficult topic in physics that's taking time?
Physics, actually, like in physics, there are a lot of formulas. So I can't remember all the formulas in the whole syllabus.
See, the thing is, no, I also don't like remembering. So one thing is you can remember the basic formulas. Okay, like if you could or those things you cannot forget. Okay,
Yeah,
see, the complicated formulas, you have to remember few formulas and then try to derive other formulas quickly.
yeah,
So
yes, sir.
one way of remembering the formula is if you understand the formula, then you can remember it better.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just taking the correct formula and using it. You just have to understand the formula. So for example,
Even in like
yeah,
electrostatics and magnetism, you have to remember the electric field and magnetic field of all the objects and all. That's sometimes you get mixed up.
which
And if you
one?
want to derive it, then you have to use integration and all. Like for example, solenoid, magnetic field due to solenoid, it's mu naught ni by 2 cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So you have to remember what theta 1 is, theta 2 is. And if you get that mixed up, then the answer will come wrong. That's the problem.
See, theta 1, theta 2. The confusion is from where you measure theta 1 and theta 2, right?
Yeah.
From which reference? So you just have to take the extreme case, theta 1 equal to 0. Okay,
Yeah.
that will make it either infinitely long or something like that. So if you take the extreme case,
Yeah.
you know whether the formula is correct or not.
Yeah.
Suppose there will be
Yes, sir, I do that.
Huh.
I do that, but then in the exam that consumes time, and that's why I'm falling short of time.
Then you have to recollect these things every day.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to make short notes. Okay, and maybe you can make one more formula sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have to keep looking at these formulas, and then not just formulas. See, when you're at home, you have time. So look at the formulas and also think of the derivation from which how it comes.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you keep doing that, the formula will get stored correctly in your memory.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, this is one problem for remembering the formulas. After the conceptual difficulty, which one is more difficult? Which topic in physics? Conceptual.
In physics, like I think I'm conceptually very clear and sound in mechanics. This time mechanics, I don't have any conceptual problems. The only one I find difficult is, I think, current electricity, particularly that one.
Current electricity is actually a little bit easier. So can you just tell one concept or a question? Current electricity is solving circuits, no?
Yeah, like I don't know, I don't get circuits. Which one you have to take in parallel, which one in series. It gets complicated sometimes. Like the simple problems I can do, I don't have much difficulty in that. But the complicated big circuits, there I face difficulty.
They don't do complicated circuits. So now one thing is Wheatstone bridge. You have to recognize whether Wheatstone bridge is present or not. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you know Wheatstone bridge is present and the bridge is balanced, you can remove that middle branch. So once you remove that middle branch, so the problem will become simple.
Yes, sir.
So other than that, it should not be difficult.
Yeah. Sir, which topic in physics is generally difficult for students?
Rotational motion.
Yeah, rotation. I don't face much difficulty in rotation for mains, but in advance it's difficult. I don't get it in for advance, but for mains I can do.
Yeah. Right now I think we focus on mains.
Yeah.
If you have time, you can move to advanced, but right now you have to focus on mains.
Yeah.
So you can do one thing. You can send a snap of the problem which you are finding it difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe some 4 or 5 problems, and then I'll discuss those problems with you, because I'm not able to figure out right now what exactly is your conceptual difficulty.
Okay. Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Okay. So as far as time is concerned, okay, just tell me straight one thing. Are you sitting at one place for 3 hours continuously?
Not continuously.
Huh.
I take
How many hours? How? Okay. That is a, yeah. So even if you're not giving the mock test, giving this habit of sitting at one place for 3 hours.
No, in mock test, I sit in one place for 3 hours.
You don't sit for in one place?
No, I sit for mock test.
Yeah. So even while studying, you get into the habit.
Yeah.
Okay. The exam is nearing. Right. Okay, you send me snaps of the problem, which are finding it difficult, and then I'll try to discuss. So anything else you want to ask?
No, sir.
Right. So the exam dates are not yet out, right? Exam dates, they are not yet announced.
No, sir. I think it will be calculated.
Okay, I'm totally getting how many items?
I think this year will be 2 attempts, maybe 4. Like, they haven't studied anything, so we don't know.
Okay, so you will be taking the first attempt, no?
Yeah, I will be taking first attempt.
If it is not good, then you have to take one more.
Yeah. So what is the ideal score for me? Because in first attempt, I've been told that many students are not prepared. So if you can score well in first attempt, then you can get a very good percentile. Because many students are unprepared in first attempt. So what should be the score target in mock tests?
Exactly, I don't know, but I think 200 score will be good. Yeah. See, if you're aiming for NITs, yeah. Okay, I cannot say, I have to check and tell you, but I think 200 will be safe. Yeah, that's what they've been saying. 180 plus in coaching also. If you get 180 plus, then you can get a very good NIT. Okay, so how was the coaching this thing? Do you think the teachers were good, or give me the correct feedback? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the teachers were good. Maths teacher was, I think in some places I didn't understand the maths teacher, so I used YouTube to understand some maths concept. Otherwise, the teachers were, physics and chemistry teachers were very good. And the thing in this coaching institute was, they are small batches. They don't have like 15 students in one batch, or only 15 students, 15 students in one batch, so they can give personal attention to all of them. So were there offline classes? No, we didn't have offline classes for our entire GE preparation since May last year, only online class. Okay. So what is their suggestion to improve your score? They said that this strategy of solving the paper in rounds, they only give this strategy to they only told this strategy to all of us. Okay. And to increase the score, they also said that avoid silly mistakes and resolve the paper and identify your mistakes and work on your weak topics. Practice your weak topics from the PPTs and all the things that all the material that is provided, and then solve another mock test, and it becomes a feedback loop. So whatever topics you're finding difficulty in, practice them, get them done, and see if there is an improvement in next month. Okay, but improvement you're not saying much, no? It's only increasing by 10 or 30. Yeah. So yeah, 20. So that's what I'm saying. If the time is a constraint, you just take 6 hours. and then see whether you are getting 250 or something. Okay, so
I'll try.
yeah, and send me snapshot of some 5 questions or something where you're having difficulty, so that I try to understand what is going on. Okay, you can send it by WhatsApp or mail.
I'm sending my WhatsApp.
Okay. So your why is the mic not working in your computer?
I don't know, sir. There is some problem in Zoom. In Google Meet it works.
No, in Zoom or your laptop, because in your system, if you don't allow the mic access, by default, see when you start the Zoom meeting, it will say start with the mic, no, start with audio, or you can just come out and rejoin again.
Okay, so I'll try that.
Yeah, now it's working.
Hello?
I think, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Just a minute, you send me this thing. Potentiometer of resistance. So you can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So what are the, so you understood this question? Voltmeter resistance is see this 84 volts. What will the potential drop across 100 ohms? Can you hear me?
IR.
See this 84 volts. So what will be the current flowing in this voltmeter? Will there be current flowing through this voltmeter?
No, sir.
If it is ideal voltmeter.
Yeah. Okay, so it has this.
Just a minute. I'll draw the figure. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the circuit is like so. What is an ideal voltmeter?
An ideal voltmeter is one where no current flows through it
But why no current flows through it?
because it has an
That's what?
infinite resistance.
Yeah. So this resistance, if it is infinity, then it is ideal. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is not ideal. So what is the value? 400 ohms, right?
Yeah. Or
Okay. Suppose if this is infinite, then what is the current flowing here? Suppose this is
where
what is the current?
0 if it was ideal.
Yeah. So when it is 0, whatever is the drop across 100 when the voltmeter is not there, that is same as the voltmeter that will be measured by the voltmeter. Okay.
Yeah.
But since it is not 400, sorry, infinite, but not 400. So what will happen because of that? Some current will flow here.
Yeah.
Okay. Since some current flows here, the current which is flowing through this one, it will change, right?
Yeah.
From what it was previously without the voltmeter.
Yeah.
Ideal voltmeter is when it insert the voltmeter into the circuit, it should not change anything in the circuit. That will happen if this resistance was infinite. Okay. But since it has got finite resistance 400, some current will start flowing here. Because of that, the value of the current here will change. And the voltage that will be measured is the drop from here to here. Okay, so you have to find the current when this 400 ohms is connected. So how do you find that current?
The product of the resistance and the current will be same for both the for 100 and 400.
So first you have to find this current, no?
Yeah.
So how do you find the total current?
400 I1 is equal to 100 I2, where I1 is the current flowing through a voltmeter and I2 is current flowing through 100 ohm resistor.
Okay, 100 and 400 are parallel, no?
Yeah.
So 100 parallel 400. What is the value?
I1 by I2.
No, equivalent
1
resistance.
by 4.
It's 1 by 100. Reciprocals will add, right?
Yeah.
So it will be 5 by 400.
Yeah.
So this is 1 by R equivalent. Okay, so R is 80. Is that right? R is distance from here to here. So 80 plus 200 is what? 280. So this current will be 84 divided by 280.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to find this current. Right? So that will be 400 divided by 500 into the total current. 84 by 280. So that will be the current in 100 ohms.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then the voltmeter reading will be this thing into 100 will be the voltmeter reading.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is 4. So 4 will go 7 times. So 70. Okay. And then we have to multiply by 100. So this 840 divided by 35 volts. So how much is this one? 2 times is 70. 140. 140 is 4 times. This is the correct answer.
Sir, I'll check.
What?
Sir, I'm checking.
Okay.
Sir, 24 volt.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically you have to first concept is concept of ideal voltmeter. Okay.
Yeah.
Ideal. See, voltmeter ideal means when I bring in the voltmeter to the circuit, it should not change anything in the circuit. Not changing anything in the circuit means any of the currents, any of the voltages. But since this is not in ideal voltmeter, when I touch this one, the current flowing this one. So without, suppose if it was ideal voltmeter, then what will be the voltmeter rating of an ideal voltmeter?
100 into the current going through 100 ohms. 100 I.
So ideal will be 100 divided by 300 into 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So that is this thing by 3. So 3 2s are 624. 28 volts. So you can see the difference from 28 volts, it has dropped to 24 volts.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first concept is what is an ideal voltmeter. Okay. And then you are inserting a real voltmeter, which has got, so if this thing is increased to 4,000, then the reading will be closer to 28. Right? So a good voltmeter will have higher resistance. Ideal voltmeter will have infinite resistance. Good voltmeter will have a high resistance. So if instead of 400, if I have 4000, then this value will be closer to 28. Right now it's 24. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is one concept ideal voltmeter, and then you have to know how to combine parallel resistances. This is all basic only. After that, you have to solve the thing quickly.
Yes.
Ideal voltmeter, I didn't find the resistance, right? I just have to, in series combination, if I have to find drop across any one resistance, I just have to take that particular resistance R1, divided by the total resistance, divided by the total voltage drop. That's what I've done here.
Yes.
Right. So next time you should be able to solve this one. And what is
Yeah.
the ideal ammeter?
Ideal ammeter has zero resistance.
Yeah. Why is that so? Suppose
It has infinite.
suppose this voltmeter had zero resistance, what will happen?
Yeah.
Suppose this
Then all the current will flow through that.
yeah, all the current will be here, and this current will be zero.
Yeah.
So the voltmeter reading will be zero.
Yes.
Okay. So the voltmeter should have very high resistance because it's connected in parallel to the element.
Yeah.
But ammeter will be connected here in series.
Yes.
Okay. So here if it is zero resistance, then it's no problem, as if there is no ammeter connected. But it should have very low resistance.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it will not affect the current. If the value of the resistance is R, then this current will change to 84 divided by 300 plus R, right? Is
Yeah.
it clear? Where R is the resistance of the ammeter.
Yes, sir.
So if R is zero means then there is no problem. So then it is ideal situation. So voltmeter is connected in parallel and ammeter is connected in series.
Yes.
Okay. Find the potential between the points. So this they have asked in the mock test.
Yes, sir. This was in the mock test.
This is main level question only. So this thing they are given, they have set steady state, no? So what does steady state mean in capacitor circuit?
There is no charge change on the capacitor. Charge is constant only.
Wait. What is the curved plate influence? Okay. Suppose this is a switch. So suppose I close the switch at t equal to 0. So what will be the current here? There should be a voltage source, no? So let me say this is 10 volts, and this is say 1 ohm, and this is 2 microfarad. So when I close the switch at time t equal to 0, what will be the current at t equal to 0?
At t equal to 0.
How much?
10 by 1. Yeah.
Because as soon as you close the thing, this capacitor will act as a short circuit.
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, the charge will keep on building. Actually, here it will be plus here, and here will be minus because I have connected positive terminal here. So, and what is the current at t equal to infinity after a long time?
0.
Because the capacitor will get fully charged and there will be a drop of
Yeah.
10 volts in this direction.
Yeah.
So if you take the overall circuit, here there is a rise of 10 volts and here there is a drop of 10 volts. So effectively across these two, there is a drop of 0. So across this resistance, there is a drop of 0 volts. So no current will flow. Okay. So here they have said it's a steady circuit. So the capacitor will act as open, but it will be fully charged. So what will be the drop across points A and C? What will be VAC? Drop across points A and C in steady state. What will be the potential drop from A to C in steady state? Will there be current flowing in the circuit?
So there will be infinite potential.
See, all the capacitor will act as open circuit, right? There is no closed path for AC.
Yeah.
So there won't be any current flowing in any of the resistor or capacitors. So what will be the drop from A to C?
Infinite.
100. So the current is 0. So go from A to C. From A to C, when I travel, there is a drop of 100 volts across the battery. So point A will be volts, 100 volts. If I take C as reference and say 0 volts. So from A to C, there is a drop of 100 volts. So the same point is, so across 1 microfarad, which is horizontal, what will be the potential drop? There is only one.
Cross?
Huh? There is one horizontal 1 microfarad, right?
Yeah.
What will be the drop across that? Hundred.
100.
Positive terminal of the battery is connected to the left one, and negative terminal is connected,
Yeah.
and there is no current flowing. So the full 100 volts will be dropping across this 1 microfarad. So,
Yes.
So if we take VC as 0, okay, by reference. So the potential at point A is 100. So potential at this intersection point of 1 microfarad and 3 microfarad, the horizontal 1 microfarad and 3 microfarad is 100. So here it will be 0. So from that I can, and this 1 microfarad and 1 microfarad in parallel. The 1 microfarad on the top and 1 microfarad vertical, they are parallel. Right? You see, actually you can break this circuit, like you can remove this resistance and 100 volt battery just by remembering that the potential at this left end of this 1 microfarad is 100 volts and the right end is 0. After that, you can remove this bottom branch is not required. Got it? No? So the drop. So 1 microfarad, 1 microfarad in parallel, and 3 microfarad in parallel.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will become 6 microfarad on the left side. Right side will become 2 microfarad. So 6 microfarad, 1 microfarad, and 2 microfarad in series. And what is the question?
Yeah.
Find the potential drop between the points A and B. Okay, that is drop across 6 microfarad, and points B and C. That is across 2 microfarad. So now we can solve it, right?
Yes.
You want to try? The answer?
Yes, sir.
Is it correct?
Yes.
Speak loudly. I can't hear.
Yes, sir.
So you,
Correct.
yeah. So once you say steady state, the capacitor will act as open, but charge won't be 0. It will be fully charged.
Yeah.
Okay. The current will be 0. Right. So the next one. So you have to find which current. I1, right. Okay. See, one thing, suppose it's 20-volt battery is not there. Okay. Then is it easy to solve the problem? 20-volt battery is there, no? So suppose if the battery is not there, suppose there is a short circuit across that. So will it be easy to solve the problem?
Yes, sir.
How will you solve then?
Find the equivalent resistance for the system, then find current.
Hmm. Okay, let me ask a trivial question. Suppose this 10-volt battery is also not there. 20-volt battery
Yeah.
is also not there. Then what will be the answer? I1?
0.
0, right?
Yeah.
Because there is nothing to drive the current. Okay.
Yeah.
So, right. See how many currents they have put? I1, I2, I3, I4, right? So 4 currents are there. Actually, there will be 3 currents. I3 and I4 are, I1, I3 and I4 are related. How are they related?
In loop law.
No, what is the relation between I1, I3 and I4? You have to speak loudly. I cannot hear. Can you relate I1, I3 and I4?
Yes, sir.
What is the relation?
I1 plus I3 is equal to I4.
Yeah, so basically there are 3 unknowns only.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can have
I-
three KVL equations.
Yeah.
So in principle it is solvable. The thing is you have to solve it quickly. So is there a easy way to solve it which doesn't take time? Okay. If you have a lot of time, you can write 3 KVL equations in the 3 loops. You can take 3 loops.
Yes, sir.
And then you have 3 equations
Yes.
in 3 unknowns. So you can solve them.
Yeah.
But is there
Yeah.
an easier way to solve it? Because usually they will be easier.
Sir, earthing is also happening. So will that cause anything? Will that change anything?
Which one?
Earthing.
What?
There is earthing, right?
No, the earthing means just this point is 0 volts.
Okay.
That will not affect anything. Even if that point is not there, it will not do anything. But since they have put earthing here, that it means that voltage at that point is 0 volts. But what drives the current is the potential difference. So that will not change the problem. What about superposition principle? Is it there in the syllabus or not?
Which?
See, you can assume this 10-volt battery is not there. You can just short it. Okay. And find I1 with only the 20-volt battery. Okay. And then second, this thing is you short this 20-volt battery and assume 10 volt is there and find the current I1. You add those two currents, there will be the current when both the batteries are present. That is called superposition principle, but I don't think it is there in your syllabus.
Yeah, it's not there in the syllabus.
So did you, I think you just write these 3 equations in 3 loops and then solve it. Instead of I4, you have to use I1 plus I3.
Okay.
So you have 3 equations in 3 unknowns. I think you should solve that. I don't see any other way of solving it.
I2 and I3 will not be equal now.
No, instead of I4, just use I1 plus I3.
Okay. Okay, sir.
All right. So do one thing. You take one JEE main paper, and then to try for
Yeah.
6 hours, and then you have
Yeah.
to get in the habit of sitting at one place even while studying.
Okay.
Mental toughness is important.
Yes.
Concentration is important to avoid silly mistakes. Focus has to be there. You just cannot say, well, studying, I'll just study for 1 hour, take a break, and then sit in the exam for 3 hours. That will not happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Try this one. Right. So I'll contact you by WhatsApp, and then let's see how it goes. Okay.
Yes.
We'll close now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
So when I have classes now, next opening.
Monday. From Monday, regular classes.
So what is the timing of the classes?
It's not fixed. They give weekly. Like for 1 week, they give a timetable, and week to week it changes.
So usually
I think
what
next
time?
3:30 to 6.
Okay. And what about mock test? That
Mock
you can,
test
you can try any
Sunday.
time.
Yeah, we can do it anytime.
No, it's weekly mock test or daily mock test.
Weekly, but we can get, we also attempt older mock tests that we gave, and then there are mock tests available on NTA website. So I gave one mock test every 3 days.
Okay. All right.
So two mock tests every week.
Okay, fine. We'll meet later.